Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Heel Turn, the number one podcast for everything WWE. We're so excited to be here. I'm your host, Liam, joined by
Fraser.
And we're going to be discussing everything from the week of WWE. We're so excited to be here. And just before we start, we do need to get into a few special thank yous. We'd like to thank our producer, Noah, who has very kindly dedicated his time to produce the podcast. And we understand that it's not an easy role and position to fill, so we really appreciate his help.
Thank you.
We'd also like to... Yeah, there you go, Noah, speaking to the mic.
Hello.
We'd also like to thank Holmesglen, particularly, for allowing us to use this space to produce this podcast. So, again, we really appreciate their efforts in giving us this space. And I'd like to thank you as well, Fraser. I'm sure you've got a very busy schedule these days. So.
Yes, I do. But no, I always make time for you, Liam. Don't worry.
Oh, thanks, mate. I appreciate it. But we're going to get right into this. WrestleMania is 10 days away. We honestly hope that you guys are as excited as we are because we cannot wait for this. But I think we need to get into Raw and
Yes,
what
sir,
happened
we do.
last week. First thing I want to discuss, Bron Breakker, Penta, Dirty Dom, Finn Balor for the IC title at WrestleMania.
Well, actually, I have a very... Well, it's not a very nuanced opinion, but I think I like matches like this, especially at WrestleMania, because, like, legitimately anyone can win.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I see, like, all four of them winning as well.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up. Like, who do you think deserves it more? Because, like, Bron, he's had an incredible, run, and he's still really young.
Yeah.
But out of the... Look, let's just take Bron out of the equation for a sec.
Yeah.
Out of the three contenders for it, who do you see deserving it more?
I wouldn't say Penta. I'm going to have to knock Penta out because he's just new. I just don't realistically see him winning.
Penta?
Yeah, because he's new, like, and, you know, he's just... I don't know. I feel like people that are new to the company shouldn't just instantly go on to win titles. I don't know. I feel like that's just a bit of a bad look. I think he needs to sort of...
Not like the Motor City Machine Guns. Just
No,
straight away.
they're different.
That was a bit different.
Motor City are different, though, because they're OP. And the thing is, I don't know a lot about Penta either. Like, I saw a bit of what he did in AEW as well, but I'm not an avid watcher. And, yeah, I think personally, either Dom or Finn deserve it more.
Yeah.
Just because Dom, I mean, the evolution of Dom from just being like... Because when Dom first came to the main roster, I hated Dom, bro. I hated him.
That's the general consensus with
Yeah.
everyone at the moment.
Well, yeah, because he was just leeching off of his dad the whole time and, like,
His
doing...
deadbeat dad.
Yeah, he was just leeching off of his dad the whole time, though. That's the thing. And
But you have to respect what Dom is doing.
yeah,
Like,
no, definitely.
There is no one better, in my opinion, right now, as a heel. No one better at all in the WWE that's as good as a heel as Dom.
Yeah,
That's
Dom's
why
definitely number one.
That's why I think
Yeah,
he deserves
and
it.
as I was saying, though, the evolution, he just went from, being his dad's sidekick, and as I said, I hated him, right? And then when I had a break of WWE in, like, the lockdown era, and I came back and I saw Dom in, like, part of the Judgement Day and, like, doing all this stuff, mate, I thought he was, like, 10 times better. Like, he honestly was in, like, I would honestly say probably my top 5.
Yeah.
Austin Theory number 1, of course.
Oh, yeah. For people wondering, we are huge A-Town Down Under fans.
Yes,
Austin Theory
definitely.
is our favourite, so shout out to you, Austin. But Finn Balor.
Nah, Finn, I think he deserves it too. I think for me, winning the match, I'd say it's either going to be Bron, because, I mean, he's just an animal. He's very good. There's no denying that.
Did you see his spear on Carlito?
Yeah.
He went full on front flip.
Yeah. Dude, I literally saw that. I was like, dude, I saw it on Instagram, I saw it on Twitter, dude. It was everywhere. And then Carlito.
He's so quick.
Yeah, I know, dude. Oh, that's what football does, bro. He was a professional footballer.
What about Jey Uso last week when he's like, oh, not last week, last year before he had his match, he, like, made fun of Bron Breakker's, like, football career or something.
Yeah, well, it's a good segue to WWE, though, playing football and so on.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, especially. Well, not really, because he had you know, he had like health problems or whatever. So that's why he
Yeah.
sort of transitioned to WWE. Because like, I mean, like anyone in the Samoan family can really transition into
The
WWE.
bloodline. Acknowledge the bloodline.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
no, like so many people that are in like that Samoan dynasty in WWE now. Like even people that signed a long time ago and haven't even started, like Hikuleo, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
He was in Japan and he got signed, but they haven't used him yet for some reason.
Yeah.
And now obviously, and then what was it, last year they got Tongaloa, Tamatonga, Jacob Fatu, all those people in. Yeah. And
Jacob Fatu.
well, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's so good. We will get to Jacob a little bit later on the show. But just
Yes.
quickly, I do want to go back to Finn Balor for a sec.
Okay.
It wasn't last week, it was the week before where he started saying, like, I pinned Penta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go get a title match.
Yeah.
Like, totally leaving Dominic out of it. Like,
Yeah.
do you still
yeah.
think he's sort of treating Dominic a bit like a child? Like, Finn
Yeah,
Balor? Because
that's actually what I'm interested in the match as well, is the
Yeah.
repercussions for the Judgment Day and how that's going to happen, because obviously SummerSlam last year, the original Judgment Day broke up.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I see personally, if JD was still in the picture, I would probably see JD and Finn going off to do their own thing,
Yeah.
tag team, and then...
But Dom and JD, like the actual match where JD did get injured, though, Dom and JD, they made a great team.
Yeah,
They
yeah, and
were
JD's a
amazing.
warmatch as well,
Oh,
because he got up and
it
still
was
continued the match,
amazing.
and he had like broken ribs or bruised ribs or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, it was crazy. It was insane. But on topic of Finn Balor, obviously, I would say that it's been like way too long since he's had like, you know, any sort of significant title. Obviously, he had the tag team titles, but
Yeah.
they were the undisputed ones, the old coin belts.
Yeah.
But I mean, by that point though, the tag team titles, like, they didn't really mean a lot, you know, to fans and so on, especially to myself.
Yeah.
And what was it, SummerSlam 2016? I think it was against Seth Rollins, yeah, and he won the Universal title, and he could only keep it for a day because he broke his like arm or whatever. So I think he's definitely due for another title, because I mean, Finn's just a workhorse. Like he puts in, like, you know, day in day out, and you know, he hasn't been rewarded in like a single sort of aspect. You know what I mean?
Braun, though, I kind of still want to see him retain it, though.
Yeah.
Because I think what he's doing with the title is really good.
Yeah,
to see.
no, I think it's a
love
very
Braun as
good reign.
well.
No, I think it's a very, very, very good reign as
Yeah.
well.
But moving on, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship.
Yeah.
Rhea getting added to the match. How do you
mhm.
feel about that? Because obviously Bianca earned her way there.
Yeah,
Io earned her way there by defeating
Yeah.
Rhea. But Rhea has made the case that she shouldn't have lost because Bianca was there at ringside.
yeah.
Do you think Rhea deserved to be in that match?
Honestly?
Because I do understand, like, with someone like Rhea, you have to have WrestleMania with her in it. So,
I don't know. Ever since Rhea got injured last year, what was it, like mid last year?
it was like right after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
pretty
no,
much.
I liked her a lot back then, but now I think she's so boring. Like, to be honest with you, like the stuff that she was doing after WrestleMania 40 was really good up until she got injured by Liv Morgan or whatever.
Yeah.
But now I think it's just way too boring, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know. I feel like they probably shouldn't have added her to the match, and like maybe if Becky Lynch came back, they could run that back or something like that at WrestleMania 40.
I do think Io still retains though, because
Yeah.
I don't see, full respect to Bianca, but I don't see her winning it.
No, I don't either.
And then with Rhea, I think it sort of doesn't make sense for her to lose the title like 6 weeks before WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden get it back at WrestleMania.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Io for me is the only sort of logical.
Yeah,
winner.
Io's goated though. Io is very talented.
I love her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's very good too. And
Yeah.
Bianca, yeah, they just need to do a bit more with her, in my opinion.
Also, it doesn't really make sense for her either, because she just, she's not in the right headspace either, because she just had that whole, thing
the
with,
turning thing, Jade
with
Cargill,
Jade
Elimination
Cargill and
Chamber.
Naomi. Obviously, you can tell that she doesn't want anything to do with it, but it is affecting her as well.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I don't see her winning it. It doesn't make sense for Rhea. to win it again.
Yeah.
I think Io deserves it, and I think she will win it. But we'll get more into that next week.
Yes.
Because I want to talk about Yeet.
Jey Uso?
Jey Uso.
Yes.
Delivered, in my opinion, one of the best promos to Gunther last week on Raw.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it was 2 days ago on Raw. But
yes.
he's looking more dangerous now. And I think it just makes the case more that he's going to win at WrestleMania, which I know you have mixed.
Yeah, I don't know.
thoughts
I'm not.
about.
I'm just not the biggest Jey Uso fan. That's all. I think his moveset is just really plain and
Well, that's
a bit
what.
boring.
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
I
as
know
well.
a lot of wrestlers can get over in a WWE just by being very charismatic and not really having very good very good moveset. Because there's people like Hulk Hogan, LA Knight. Unfortunately, he's not the best wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's an okay wrestler, but he's not he's not great. Like you don't see him like doing anything that's that spectacular.
Good champion.
Yeah,
Good on the mic, too.
yeah, he's very good on the mic. But Jay, in my opinion, I think charismatically it might get him over the line to win the title at WrestleMania. But I think he's either going to have to just as soon as he wins, update his moveset. Or I think that's the only thing he really can do is update his moveset. Just because people are going to get bored if every single match is just going to be super kick, over and over and over again. And Uso splash. They already bore me. That's why.
Jay.
Yeah.
Jay on the mic, though. He's very impressive. I could see Gunther, as that promo went on.
Yeah.
I could just see in his face. He got scared. He got more scared.
Yeah.
It's a tough one because if Gunther retains, you're like, oh, well, Gunther retains. He's a good champion.
Yeah. The reign is starting to pick up a little bit. It was a bit boring at the start, but it's definitely starting to pick up now with this Jey Uso stuff and all that sort of stuff.
At first, I didn't know how I felt about it just because literally Gunther defended the title against Jey at Saturday night's main event. And then a week later, Jey wins the Rumble, and now it's all happening again. The whole the actual whole lead up to it, I thought was pretty boring.
Yeah.
Because it was just Jey having a match, and then Gunther interfering right after the match has ended.
Yeah.
But as soon as you got Jimmy involved, and
the blood everywhere,
getting absolutely
pummeled,
by Gunther, that's just ignited the spark in Jey that he needs.
You reckon?
And
I think bringing Jimmy into it is actually a pretty good idea because
exactly.
Yeah, because then he might be able to interfere or something like that.
Well, that's the thing. I would have thought of Jimmy to be at WrestleMania contending for the US title or something like that. But that automatically puts him out of anything. If anything, I want to see right before Jay's match. I want Jay's match to be on night one.
Yeah.
Right before the triple threat match with Roman, Rollins, and Punk.
That's at the main event, so the one before the main
So I want it to be on night one before it.
Yeah.
And I want some sort of interaction with Jay and Roman. Let's just say Jay wins the title.
Yeah.
Goes backstage. Roman's just standing there. Aura.
Aura.
The room.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, point out, there's no one in WWE who has more aura than Roman Reigns. I'll just say that.
Austin Theory's a close second, though. Yeah. Well, he did lose aura. Talking about the lead up to the match, to the WrestleMania match, though, that Austin Theory match, what was it, 10 seconds long or something, 14 seconds?
No. The only reason it was 10 seconds was because the John Cena Cody Rhodes promo before that
I know
went on for way too long.
It was a good promo too, but
yeah.
Normally when I watch WWE, I keep an eye on the Austin Theory matches because, obviously he's our favourite.
He's our favourite.
Obviously.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah, mate, I was so disappointed, when he lost. What it was, and even, what was it, Michael Cole was confused about what happened.
It wasn't even in the move. It wasn't even
it was meant to be a spear.
It was a crossbody.
No, it was a spear, but Michael Cole said it was a crossbody.
It kind of looked like a...
Yeah, it was Austin Theory's sell because you know how Austin Theory is a very good seller as well.
Oh.
He was trying to sell a good spear, but Jay's spears they're pretty weak. They're not very good.
Yeah.
The way that he performs them.
Yeah. But no, I think Jay is making the case to be the champion.
Yeah. I think that's going to happen. Yeah.
I think it will happen. But yeah, back to that whole little interaction with Roman and Jay, and then Jay comes backstage with the championship,
Yeah.
and Roman's there, and he's just like, "I'm proud of you," or
Yeah.
something like that.
Or it could be like,
and then they embrace, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
it's-
yeah, it could be.
it'd be an amazing moment.
Well, also, it could also lead up to stuff where maybe he challenges him to be the tribal chief or something like that.
Tribal combat match.
Yeah, because he's a champion now.
Yeah.
And Roman's not.
But I like what they're gonna do with Roman now. Like, I'd much prefer him having like these little feuds
Yeah.
and having these matches based on these feuds rather than because nothing can really beat his
No.
1,000.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that again. I don't think it's
Yeah,
going to be a while
it's
before he wins
not.
a world title again. Yeah, probably.
Or whether he wins another one. That's another question.
Yeah, that was a title reign to feed families. I mean, I even when I started watching WWE again, like I already knew that that's how big the title reign had gotten at that point. Like, I already knew that it was happening in the end of the lockdown era and the Thunderdome era, and then going back onto TV. I already saw it and everything like that, and even hit the perfect job at him going from babyface to heel during the Thunderdome era as well. I think that just shows how good that title reign was as well. That even for someone that just completely disconnected from wrestling during the lockdown era, I think that just shows how good it was. And how memorable it was, and how I don't think he's ever gonna top that reign ever again.
Yeah, no, it definitely was something that was very great for the company. But we're going to move on to Friday Night SmackDown, which took place in CM Punk's hometown of Chicago.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Owens. I felt very sad.
Yes, that was pretty emotional.
Yeah. We wish Kevin all the best, by the way, with his neck surgery. We really hope that he can recover well and he's back soon. But it does leave the question, what happens with Randy Orton, who's his opponent?
Yes.
First of all, I thought Kevin Owens, I thought that wasn't true.
Yeah.
I thought he just came out.
Like AJ last year where he said he was retiring and then he hit Cody.
I was hoping, I know, like, as Kevin was leaving the ring and then Randy came and then there was that little just moment.
Yeah, he thought he was going to attack him or something.
That's when I knew, okay, it's legit. Because when KO was talking, I would have liked Randy to come out then. Like, so this is me thinking that it wasn't true. Randy comes out and then says, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then attacks him. But that would have been good as well. But yeah, at first I didn't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it was over, and then he actually shook Nick Aldis's hand. He gave him a hug.
Yeah.
Out of all the stuff that they went through in the lead up to Cody's feud, holding the Winged Eagle title as well, I was okay, they're actually being serious here.
Yeah.
So
I want to more talk about who Randy's opponent's going to be next, because I doubt they're just going to cancel a match with Randy Orton in it. I think a lot of people want to see a Randy Orton match.
Orton versus Nick Aldis.
So I think we have two people that we think are going to replace Kevin. So WWE is hinting at it's going to be maybe Nick Aldis steps back into the ring and goes against Randy. And it would make sense because of the RKO and everything
100%.
like that.
I know. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be great, yeah.
But we've also got to talk about Aleister Black as well, because he has obviously left AEW, I'm pretty sure. And the vignette on TV as well, which is like the smoke and all that, the shadows and stuff like that, which are obviously more than likely going to be him. So what I reckon is what's going to happen at WrestleMania is, I know at WrestleMania 33, when the Hardy Boys came back during that ladder match for the Raw Tag Team titles, I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I don't think so.
No. Well, what happened is that the match was about to start, right? And then the New Day came out and said they've got one more team. And then the Hardy Boys came out. And looking back at the replays, obviously the crowd was very, very loud and so on. So I reckon if they do the same thing with Aleister Black, bring back his old music and so on, because his old music was very good as well, and the whole presentation and everything like that. I reckon the crowd's going to go, it's going to go pretty insane, and I think that's also the crowd reaction and then how he performs in the ring, because obviously he's got finishes like Black Mass and so on. I think his moveset, along with the crowd as well, is probably going to launch him, I reckon, into at least the upper mid card level, I reckon.
Yeah. Do we have a fixed time of when we think KO will be back? because I'd love to see like a Rumble return or
Yeah.
maybe like a WrestleMania mystery opponent return next year.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
I've seen it rumored online that was going to be 2 years, but apparently that's just a rumor. It's not anything real. I reckon most realistic scenario is going to be Royal Rumble next year.
Yeah.
At some point, whether he returns.
Styles return. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whether he returns as a face or a heel, I have no idea, and that's up for.
I think it'll be a face. I think from the way he was speaking, you know, like he's obviously pretty upset that he's not going to be there for a while. I think it makes sense to come back as a face.
Yeah.
Because as a heel, I think the amount of time that he was a heel and that whole like Randy.
But his heel run is so good though. Like babyface stuff is so boring.
I agree.
Kevin Owens is definitely, in my opinion, better as a heel.
There's just something about being a heel that makes it. Then KO plays it perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's been a good heel ever since he turned on Sami Zayn back in like NXT in like the early 2010s or mid 2010s, and that was really good. And then what was it? He went to the main roster in like 2015. I think it was just as like a temporary thing, and he went against John Cena for the US title when he was doing his open challenge. I remember watching that when I was younger as well and thinking like, oh my gosh, like look at this bloke. Like, yeah, because he was beating John Cena on the regular, like, you know, and then I think it came up to the pay-per-view. I don't even remember what it was. It's so long ago now. And I think John Cena won from what I remember. Yeah. But I still remember Kevin Owens' heel work being very, very good though.
Even on the Netflix premiere when he showed up.
We're watching that together. Yeah,
we did watch that one together. In the Roman Solo match, and then he came out and stunned Roman. And then he's like, and then he looks at Solo and he's just like, "Go, get him." Him. Dude. I'm just like, did you guys not just have this whole, you know, time last year where you were just like beating it? Did you not have the most insane match at Backlash last year? That's where Tungaloa came as well.
Infamous Tungaloa.
And then a Money in the Bank match as well. And then various tag team matches on SmackDown as well. Like, his heel work's unbelievable.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Motor City Machine Guns, #1 contenders. Our second favourite tag team.
Yeah, they're our second favourite tag team, yeah.
Who they beat? DIY. Those flops.
We don't like DIY. We don't mess with
ever
DIY.
Since they took the titles from A-Town Down Under.
Yeah, we've been very hurt.
We've voiced our opinions.
Not jealous, but we've just been very hurt.
Definitely not jealous.
No.
Not at all. But the Guns, I think there's no, and I know the Street Profits are champs right now, but I think there's no tag team on every single roster in WWE right now that works best as a team than the Guns. Yeah,
I mean their moveset is very good.
There's no one better than the Guns.
Yeah,
Skull and Bones.
Yeah,
all day. Yeah, it's good as. I love them. Sabin and Shelley.
Yeah, but you got to think about the Street Profits as well. Is that they've also been troopers as well. Like I think before they won the tag titles, they hadn't had a title for something like 5 years or something like that. Yeah, which is absolutely unbelievable because like you'd think that the caliber of the Street Profits and how good that, especially like Montez as well, and like all the flips that he does and his frog splash. Do you see how high he gets in his frog splash too? Yeah, I think they should at least have somewhat of a lengthy run, or a title run too. Yeah,
if you're going to look at athleticism, you definitely go the Street Profits. If you're going to look at teamwork, I think you go the Guns, but what's more important? Yeah. But also what's also more important is what happens at Mania with that. Because I'd still like to see the tag team titles feature at Mania. I was hoping a ladder match, possibly.
Yeah, could be.
With the Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, DIY, the Guns. Yeah. I would have loved to see that. Yeah. But now that the Guns are #1 contenders, it'll be interesting to see what happens on SmackDown this week. Whether there's actually a match for the titles on SmackDown.
I doubt it.
Or we wait until WrestleMania. Or all the other tag teams come out like they did a few weeks ago and say, hey, we want a shot.
I don't know. I think the tag team division, especially... Well, I would even say on both brands, but I think SmackDown is definitely seen as a bit more,
yeah, the War Raiders,
reputable, you know what I mean?
They're not always in the ring. They're not always defending.
I think it's a lot better structured on SmackDown, but...
You love SmackDown, don't you? Like, more than Raw?
Oh, I don't know. I just follow whatever brand A-Town Down Under goes to.
Yeah, Raw now.
Raw now is okay. I mean, I don't know. I think we're in a very good time in WWE, though.
Yeah. However way you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, especially when I first started watching, like 2016, 2017, 2018. Like, bro, we were in the trenches. Like, I don't even know why I continued watching, to be completely honest. But yeah, what was I even saying earlier? I don't know. We've gone off topic now, haven't we? Yeah.
The guns. Maybe we'll just move on then. Ray Phoenix, SmackDown debut.
I've got a
against
few
Nathan
things to
Fraser.
say about that, though.
Yeah, he does have a few things to say. I'll let you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, first thing I've got to say, I think, is Ray Phoenix's presentation, like, especially, like, his entrance and so on. Like, his Titantrons, they're literally exactly the same as Penta. Like obviously it says Ray Phoenix or whatever, but, like, the font is, like, the exact same. It's almost identical to Penta. And I think WWE needs to sort of split them apart and make Ray Phoenix his own unique sort of superstar, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
there's no doubt he's definitely like physically capable.
Definitely, yeah.
I watched his match. It was amazing.
Except for when he dropped Nathan Fraser on his head, though.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if that was like nerves or something.
There's a lot of potential there.
There is definitely a lot of potential, but either they need to make him more separate to Penta, or at some point down the line maybe he goes into a different brand, and then they become a tag team or something. Because, I mean, I definitely don't put him into the LWO though, because LWO is where luchador careers go to die, my friend. Honestly, Dragon Lee, dude, oh my gosh, dude. I know you don't watch NXT, but obviously I do.
Sometimes.
Dude,
it depends.
Dragon Lee was so talented and so good. Like his matches against Dom and stuff like that. Well, I think he had one on Raw as well. I think he may have had one in NXT too. Mate, they were so good. And then he comes to the main roster, and they put him in the LWO. Mate, apart from Rey Mysterio, the LWO is like pretty irrelevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, and I don't mean to go on, but Zelina Vega, she's just not great. I'm sorry. And what was the other one? Cruz del Toro and was it Joaquin Wilde? Those two.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very talented. Especially Joaquin Wilde, like when they do the rope and then he flies off. That's very funny. But either WWE needs to do something with the LWO or just split it up, because I don't know. It's just where irrelevant sort of luchadors and so on. Well, not irrelevant. That's where they become irrelevant, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. This one was good.
Yes.
Because it got personal.
Yeah.
Tiffy versus Charlotte.
Oh,
that
yeah.
promo.
No.
That got personal.
It did get personal, yeah. They went off script near the end or something like that. Tiffany was talking about Charlotte's divorces like 0-3 or something, which is kind of crazy. And actually, funnily enough, I saw something online, and it said that Andrade and Charlotte's marriage lasted shorter than the Tribal Chief's reign or something.
I saw that too.
Yeah. Something like that.
No, they said all three of Charlotte's marriages lasted less than the Tribal Chiefs.
All three? I thought it was just Andrade.
They said all three.
Goodness me. Goodness gracious. But
that's the aura of the Tribal Chief.
Exactly. But
that's why we acknowledge him.
Going back to the promo, I would say it was definitely a bit like, you could definitely tell it was a bit off the cuff, because Charlotte couldn't control the crowd. Yeah. Which I feel like shouldn't happen if she's...
And then Tiffany left the ring. And Charlotte went back and said, "Oh, Kaiser's in my DMs."
Yeah,
she went for more.
Yeah, that was just a little bit awkward in my opinion. Like, I don't know.
I thought, in terms of like,
Tiffy definitely won though, for sure. Definitely.
That's what I was gonna say. Like in terms of like the lead up to it at the moment, I'd say Charlotte was looking a little bit more
weaker
ahead of it at the start, and then in the past week, especially like after the Europe tour, now. I'd say Tiffy's like sort of one up there a little bit more now.
Yeah, in the running again,
I'd say.
I don't see why they put the title off of Tiffany though. She's 25. It's her first world title run.
Yeah.
You know, it's only up from here really. And Charlotte, like, I mean, over the years, Charlotte's just been like just put into like the main event or like championship matches without really even like deserving it. You know what I mean?
Who's winning?
Winning what?
At WrestleMania.
Tiffany, probably.
I think Charlotte.
Nah, I don't know. I think Charlotte would just make the reign so boring though.
Yeah,
like her reign would be so boring.
But Tiffy's got her whole career ahead of her.
Yeah.
Like I get what
I
you're
don't know.
saying.
No,
I get
I
what
don't
you're
know.
saying,
I think
though.
Charlotte's just so boring, in my opinion. And
And
that
in ring.
in I wouldn't say in ring. Like some of the moves she does is all right. I mean, but like especially whatever it was on. Was it on Raw or SmackDown? I don't remember. It was on SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Yeah. When they were doing the promo, it was Tiffany versus Charlotte. She couldn't even control the crowd. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Wasn't she going on about like how she's been here for so long and rah rah rah?
Doesn't help when. But then Charlotte's all like, they're either wooing or booing. Like,
Yeah.
but still, that doesn't help.
No.
I know. I know.
Tiffany
what you're
could
saying,
control
though.
the crowd though. That's the thing, and
Yeah.
she knows how to control a crowd and how to get a crowd on her side, and she knows what to say specifically as well.
I'm going going Charlotte
Yeah.
just purely for the fact that Tiffy's still got a while to go in her career.
That is a good point.
She will get another champion. If she does lose, she will get another championship because she's.
But
amazing.
I think Tiffany's a lot better in a lot of things. I will even say Tiffany's moveset is very good as
I-
well. Like the moonsault. Does that have a special name? Prettiest moonsault ever. Yeah. And the Alabama slam she does as well. It's like the
Yeah.
cartwheel into and then she drops them.
Yeah. I agree with everything you're saying, like about Tiffy being a better champion.
Yeah.
But I just have a feeling Charlotte will get it.
Yeah.
That's just me.
If it does, I mean, you're just proving me right at the end of the day that she always gets inserted into the title picture and then she ends up winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for
This
the
is actually
US
gonna be a good
title
match as well.
at WrestleMania. I am looking for any match with Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Is
He cooks.
is a good match.
Yeah.
He is so good.
Jacob Fatu is very good, I know. Maybe not as good as infamous Tongaloa, because he has aura and he hasn't even been here since Survivor Series. People are waiting on the King's
I want
return.
Him back. We
Yeah,
need him back.
no, I want him back too. I want him to return to the eye patch and everything. I'll bring him aura, but
What happened? Collarbone? You break his collarbone, did it?
no.
Shoulder.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
when
yeah.
it was when he got attacked with the toolbox, wasn't it?
I don't remember. I don't remember what it was specifically, but no, I was thinking of Jimmy Uso, but no, I think he broke his collarbone or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Jacob Fatu. Who do you reckon will win? What's your prediction, mate? What is your prediction? They're both very good, I'll admit. LA Knight is very good, and Jacob Fatu definitely has an edge on the moveset.
To be fair, I was sort of hoping this week I'd be able to think about it a bit more and see SmackDown this Friday just to get a clearer picture of it all. But if I have to go off it now, I'd probably say Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, could be.
I think
Jacob Fatu is very talented, and I think he's been in the company for long enough, unlike Penta, to actually have a title as well.
You were saying, that's what you were saying.
Yeah,
before.
because I feel like if Jacob Fatu came in like I don't know, a month ago, and then he got that title shot, I wouldn't want him to win because I don't know enough about him yet. You know what I mean?
But then again, that's the thing that we were talking about before with Rhea about like losing the title and getting it back, and EO just getting it. LA Knight lost his title, and then he only recently just got it back.
Yeah.
So is he gonna like automatically lose it again?
Well,
Like,
they gave it
that's
back
the
to
other
him because Shinsuke had like his brother or something passed away. So so he wasn't. That's why he wasn't defending it on TV.
Well, then it maybe makes sense.
Yeah. So, well, it makes sense. It made sense to give it back to LA Knight because I feel like his run was definitely cut short.
You know what will also be interesting to see with it as well.
Yes.
I wouldn't like I want Jacob to win it, but at the same time, this is what I see could play out and what I would want to see play out. Jacob Fatu, LA Knight at WrestleMania. Match is going on. Solo Sikoa appears somewhere.
Yeah.
Attempts to help Jacob Fatu win the match.
Yep.
But fails and it backfires. Jacob Fatu loses. LA Knight wins. Then that sets up the rivalry between Jacob and Solo, which I really want to see.
Yeah, I actually think that would be very good because Solo, obviously, Raw on Netflix debut, he lost.
And then he left.
Then he left, and then there's been a bit of like an awkward split in the new bloodline.
It's clear you can tell.
Yeah,
you can tell. Jacob's no longer like I love you, Solo.
Yeah, no, he's no longer just the errand boy.
It's like if anything, it's the roles are reversed. Like Solo is like all over
subservient sort
now.
of, I guess you would say.
He's like, you're the man now, Jacob. You got to do it. You're the man.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's the thing. I don't understand Solo's sort of role. at the
Role, I
moment.
know. That's the thing as well.
I don't know. And Tama Tonga's just there as well. Like,
Yeah, we need Tonga Loa back to sort of. I know it's a bit of an overused thing,
yeah,
but we need Tonga
continue
Loa
the
back.
bloodline story, man.
Yeah, well, because then Tonga Loa can go back with Tama Tonga and they can keep doing their tag team
Yeah.
stuff, and then, what Solo can do, I have no idea. Actually, I'm actually quite lost on Solo now. Now that you say it, I'm actually very lost on what he could do. Just because his whole thing was that he was the tribal chief, whatever the only tribal chief or whatever.
Yeah. But if you set that rivalry up with Jacob, he slides back into it perfectly.
Yeah.
And I think if Fatu doesn't win the championship, I'd love to see that rivalry with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah,
instead.
definitely. I think that would definitely cook though, because
Or if he does win the title, then Solo turns on him and challenges him.
Well, I think Solo has definitely come a long way since WrestleMania last year as well, because he was he was like silent the whole time, like with the bloodline and everything.
I'm not taking anything away from Solo. I think he's a great talent, even on the
No,
mic.
I think he's
even
a
on
great
the mic
talent
during
too.
the whole
I'm
the tribal chief period.
I know. Why the hell were
was
they
fine.
keeping him silent when he was
good.
the enforcer or
I
whatever?
know.
Because he's really good on the mic. He's really
loved him.
funny.
He was good.
Yeah.
I know. All right. This one is huge. Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Aligning with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins, where does he slide
Well,
into it?
here's another bit as well. I know, obviously, you haven't been watching WWE for as long as I have, but in the past, I would say that, well, he's already turned on CM Punk before. I think it was to go with Curtis Axel or something like that.
Yeah.
Something along the lines of that. And then Roman Reigns, obviously Roman Reigns has beat him up before and so on and so forth. And that hasn't happened. Obviously, Seth Rollins hasn't had that many interactions with Paul Heyman yet, obviously. So I reckon, and what did Seth Rollins say? He owes him a favour.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I reckon.
He was going to stomp him too. He was like,
Yeah, I reckon
out of getting him.
I reckon maybe like there's a 1% chance of like of Paul Heyman aligning with Seth Rollins, and then
I think it's a good chance.
You reckon?
I think something could happen there.
Yeah.
I think it just removes Paul from the situation on his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just makes it easier for him. Like, I mean, if you go back with Roman,
Yes.
usual stuff.
Yeah.
My tribal chief. Just
Right,
that
right,
usual
right.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You go with Punk, automatically Roman's
Not
like,
very happy.
he doesn't have his wise man
No,
with him.
and that's what he said. He's like, the moment I don't have the wise man,
His
is that
moment
I'm-
you won't see the tribal chief.
Yeah, that's what he said when he was inducting Paul Heyman to the Hall of Fame. So
But if you go
Yeah.
with Seth Rollins,
yeah,
you've got something there.
yeah, you've definitely.
You leave Roman and Punk both unsatisfied.
Yeah, and I think it's probably you can take the storyline a bit further as well.
Exactly. Like, it's Paul Heyman. He took Roman Reigns to greatness,
Mm-hmm.
winning the championship. He also took CM Punk to that greatness as well. It's almost as if, because this is the thing with the match itself, I don't see Rollins being the winner. I
No,
think
I don't either.
I think either Punk or Roman will win.
Yeah. Same.
Probably Punk, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
I think Punk will.
Yeah, I agree.
And since the fact that I don't see Rollins being a winner here, I think Paul can take him to that next step and help him.
Well,
get
Seth
another
Rollins is already a main
championship.
eventer and everything like
yeah,
that.
I know.
So he doesn't really need it.
But he's clearly not the favorite
No,
with
he's
Roman and Punk there in that
Yeah,
picture. And the only
definitely.
reason he beat Punk in that steel cage match was because of Roman. So he hasn't actually yet proven that he can beat Punk successfully.
not. Yeah.
Whereas Punk on the Netflix premiere beat him clean.
Yeah.
So, but back to Paul Heyman, I think it benefits him the most by going with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to Roman, it's just business as usual.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you probably want something significant to happen at WrestleMania as well.
Yeah.
So,
I'd love to see like a...
or WWE could just do nothing, and they could just put him with a Roman Reigns or something like that again. And then, yeah, as you said, it could just be business as usual. But I hope something interesting happened though.
Bloodline rules.
Bloodline rules, exactly.
Anything can happen there.
Mhm.
But then again, like, what would happen? Like, Sami Zayn's out. Jimmy Uso's pretty cooked at the moment.
Yeah.
Jey Uso would have just had a title match.
Yeah, if he won the title as well.
Probably doesn't work unless like Jacob Fatu or something.
Yeah,
happens.
something like that.
I'd love to see a Roman Jacob like sort of teamwork.
Yeah.
Sort of team happening.
Roman and Jacob.
Maybe form a super bloodline or something.
Super bloodline. Yeah, I mean, it could work. It could work. It has potential, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like they're just not similar enough wrestlers, though, because Jacob Fatu is a bit more of like a high-flying sort of, moonsault, rah-rah-rah, and then, Roman Reigns is a bit more grounded, if that makes any sort of sense. A bit more of a traditional wrestler, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
But next segment we've got coming up is the blind rankings.
Mhm.
Something I am looking forward to. I want you to blind rank these heels, top 5 heels on the current roster right now,
Okay.
because there's some good ones on here as well.
Right.
All right, first one, 1 through 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Grayson Waller. And
Now-
it doesn't have to be like how physically capable they are in the ring. It couldn't just be like how good they are as a heel. As a heel.
The thing is that I might be biased as well, because obviously he's Australian and we're
Yeah.
Australian too. But I think he's also just a really funny guy too. And
I love him.
the Grayson Waller effects and everything like that.
Yeah. Where are you putting him?
I feel like there's probably going to be someone better. So I'm going to say number 2, because he hasn't reached that level yet. Like, he's not like...
But he's a good heel.
He's just a very good sort of smart aleck, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. He causes
Alright.
a lot of trouble.
Next one.
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
Logan. Now, Logan gets a lot of hate just because he's Logan Paul as well. And,
Yeah.
his previous activities outside of wrestling as well. But heel work, honestly, he's very good on the mic as well. When people were criticizing Charlotte Flair, I saw someone do a comparison of Logan Paul and say that Logan Paul can actually control the crowd, like that was booing him. The thing is, I don't want to put him number 1 because he just doesn't deserve it. I'm gonna have to put him number 3 because
3?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, number 3. Put him number 3.
Okay. Cool.
This is definitely going to be so butchered by the end.
The next one, Drew McIntyre.
See, you might have to be number 1. That's the problem. But you're probably going to have someone really good, like, I don't know.
Don't say it out loud. Where are you putting Drew?
I'm going to have to put him at, number 5, number 4, and number 1. I'm going to put him number 1. Because remember at WrestleMania when he was going against Seth Rollins and he grabbed his phone off of his missus and then put on Twitter, bored at work, LOL or whatever, and got like 38 million views or something like that.
Okay.
It's crazy.
All right, next one. And I think you made a mistake here.
I probably did, yeah. I should have put Grayson Waller lower and Logan.
Dirty Dom.
Well, he's going to have to go number 4 because I'm not putting him number 5. Dirty Dom, it's so good as a heel, and especially the stuff he's doing with Liv Morgan as well.
That's why I think he's the top heel.
Nah, I wouldn't say he's I wouldn't say he's maybe top. I reckon probably Drew might be a bit better on like the social media front. I reckon, like outside of WWE, directing traffic to WWE through social media. But
Johnny number 5, which has to slide into 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
John Cena.
Well, I actually just completely butchered that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did, because he's not going to be number 5. John Cena's heel turn. Mate, I was like jumping up and down when I saw that. Like,
that's why you should have.
Yeah, I stood up. No one ever stands up.
Dom and Cena 4 and 5.
Yeah, I butchered
that's the 1 and 2. Right
Grayson and Logan should have been a bit lower down, I reckon.
That's why that's why I asked them first, because I was hoping you like realize there's more better ones coming. I'll put them low.
Yeah,
that's all right.
John Cena's heel turn was great though.
But I did like. Obviously, yeah, I don't want to be biased as well, but like Grayson it too. He can't work as a babyface.
No, never.
He genuinely can't.
No, only when he comes to Australia, obviously. Like, because you know how I went to Perth, obviously.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Nah, he was so over with the crowd and everything like that.
Yeah.
Especially
doing a shoey as well.
At the press conference, like the day before. It wasn't the press conference. I forgot. I don't know what the
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
He did the shoey with Rhea Ripley,
Yeah.
and like he interrupted like Michael Cole and all that sort of stuff. That was very good. And then obviously in the arena when he came out, getting everyone to do like the Aussie, Aussie, Aussie and all that sort of stuff. That was very good. Obviously I couldn't do it because I was very unwell at the time. But the crowd he was definitely over in Australia, and I think he wouldn't be able to work as a heel.
Yep.
As a babyface, I mean, ever. I didn't see it ever happening, to be honest.
Yep. Well, we're going to wrap it up here on the first episode of the Heel Turn podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on our various social media
Yes, on
platforms.
TikTok. We have TikTok. We have
Instagram
Reels. We'll put Reels up, obviously. We've got YouTube as well.
Yeah.
I might put up a Twitter. We'll see.
Yep.
Depends.
See.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is our first episode, so we'll get things going for you guys. But we appreciate you tuning in. Please don't forget our episode next week.
Yep.
WrestleMania, our last episode before WrestleMania. It's 10 days away right now. As we said before, we hope you are as excited for WrestleMania as we are this year in Las Vegas. So thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next week.
See you later.